Deborah. It's time again for Diary of a Physicist Farmgal. This is episode 68. I don't remember. I forgot to look before I started. I'm coming to you from here on my family farm in the foothills of the Arkansas Ozarks, where I like to do all the crafts. I knit, I crochet, I make baskets, I make jewelry, I do needlework. I'll try any craft once and twice if I like it. I am also a professor of physics and astronomy at a local university where I teach classes to physics majors. I teach general education classes. And when we don't have a pandemic, I am a docent at our planetarium. But I'm really involved in classes about diversity and inclusion in STEM and science literacy, so communicating science to the public. And last but not least, I am a farmer. I am a third generation family farmer here on my 170 acres that my family has lived on for over a century. And Willie would not join me because he's taking a nap. So you guys get fizzy today, as long as she'll tolerate me. I raise grass-fed beef cattle. I have raised horses. I have a flock of heritage poultry. I have show-quality rabbits. I have a retirement herd of miniature horses, miniature donkeys, a miniature mule named Pumpkin who thinks she rules the roost, and Princess Penny, the pot-bellied pig, the protector of the poultry, who earned her keep this week. Okay, I'll let you down. As you can tell from my reluctant co-host, because my regular co-host is taking a nap and couldn't be bothered to come in here, I am a fur kid mom to 14 dogs, 7 indoor cats, and an undetermined number of outside barn cats. So if any of all of that sounds interesting to you, I hope you'll come on along for this episode of Diary of a Physicist Farmgal. Y'all, I had on a Halloween sweatshirt and it was way too hot. It is trying to be fall here in Arkansas, but it is not trying very hard. It's about 80 degrees outside, and I just got in from feeding and watering, so it's pretty hot. So I ditched the Halloween sweatshirt in favor of my National Cowboy Hall of Fame and Western Heritage Museum t-shirt today. So, and Willie is still taking a nap, so y'all are just going to have to do without him till the end, I guess. So, if you're looking for us on social media, you can find my farm Facebook page is the same as my YouTube channel name. It is Buckthorn Farms. And I post articles about farming. I post pictures. I post, sometimes I'll write blog style posts and stuff like that. So you can check us out there. My Instagram and Ravelry handle is Doc Firewoman, where you can find me. I post tons of pictures of my animals mostly and about the farm and stuff like that, but sometimes good sciencey stuff too. And you can also find a Ravelry group for the podcast Diary of a Physicist Farmgal. And I have gone back and forth about the Ravelry situation. It is definitely disappointing the way things have been handled in terms of making it accessible to people. But I don't really have a good alternative right now for how to host my make-alongs and stuff, so I'm going to stick with Ravelry in the hopes that they will do the right thing and show some contrition, and so y'all don't let us down. I hung with y'all from the fallout after last year, and I'm counting on y'all to do the right thing. So anyway, you can find the podcast group on there, and I do have several make-alongs going. You can go over there and read about them. Currently, I am co-hosting the I Am Worth It make-along with Kirsty from Grenade Creations. That is an Instagram hashtag that you can subscribe to or follow. I will post the hashtag in my down below where you can look it up and participate in that. It is any craft as long as you're doing something nice for yourself. And last but not least, I am on Twitter, and boy howdy, I am a socially liberal Democrat, and if you don't like that, probably don't follow me on Twitter right now because we are ramping up. It has been a time, y'all. It has been a time, and so that's all I'm going to say about that. Let's just not veer down that road right now, shall we? But anyway, you know where to find me if you like that. I am a Doc Firewoman on Twitter as well. So you can find me there, and yes. So, yeah. But if you don't like that kind of stuff, fine, don't follow me on Twitter. But if you do, be warned. Be warned, because it comes all flying out there. I try to keep it as dull roar and everywhere else. But anyway, so, oh, you're going to come back now, huh? Okay. So Fizzy has decided to rejoin me just in time for me to sign off and do finished objects. I have finished objects. I have finished objects. I have a cat in the way. Fizzy, you didn't want to be here a while ago, and now here you are. Yes, you're a rotten cat. Fizzy cat. All right, jump down. Okay, so I have finished objects. My first one is here. I completed my Calaveras shawl. This is the Calaveras shawl by Lori Law. It is the first installment of the 2018-2019 Willy Wonka Fiber Arts, or Willy Wonka Fibers Celtic Year Shawl Club. And it is the Samhain shawl. So this is Calaveras. The little the lace work in it is supposed to be reminiscent of Day of the Dead skulls. So you can look there and kind of see them, I guess. This is knit with Willy Wonka Fiber Arts Nimue sock base in the color Spiced Apple. And it has a beaded spine down the center. You can see the beadwork there. I'm trying a new recording setup today, y'all, too, if it looks different. We got fancy schmancy iPads for work, so I thought I would try that out. And I'm holding that backwards, so maybe you can see the beads now. Anyway, so this is the Calaveras shawl. It is a One Skein Wonder shawl, and it is that sort of boomerang shape, I guess you could call it. And the Shawl Club gave us a shawl for every holiday on the Celtic calendar. So this was this first one. This was the Samhain or Halloween shawl. So I was very pleased to get it done in time for this year. So that is my first finished object. My next finished object is my socks. I finished my socks. These are the Vagary socks by Knitting Expat. This was part of her Wanderlust Sock Club from 2018. This is knit in String Theory Colorworks W49B, which is a colorway that is inspired by a supernova remnant. So the pattern you can see there is a series of just a textured pattern of I can't remember, is it slips? I can't remember. I'll have to look it up again. But anyway, so yeah, so there's the patterning. It's part of her sock club. And then I put in an afterthought heel, my first attempt at an afterthought heel. So thank you, Vanessa, from A Historian Knits, for inspiring me. That's going to be my go-to heel, I think, from now on. So there they are in all their glory. I made them pretty long because I wanted to use up all of that yummy yarn. It was a sock set, so it came with the purple mini, the matching purple mini in it. And so, yeah, String Theory Colorworks. And these sock blockers were the custom ones I had made by Knitting Left. So she does a really nice job. If you ever want any really nice sock blockers done, there you go. So the Vagary socks by Knitting Expat in String Theory Colorworks yarn is my next finished object. And Glory Be, I have another one. In my April 9 Designs Funny Dogs bag, I just finished this last night. This is the Empower Lace Cowl. Now, it has not been blocked yet, okay? I just pulled it off the needles or bound it off last night. So this is the Empower Lace Cowl. I haven't sewed it up or blocked it yet, but here it is. So it's a very quick knit. This is knit in Miss Babs. It's a Wild Iris Yowza called Purple People Eater. So I thought it was appropriate for that. I still need to wash it and block it. You haven't woven in my ends yet or anything, because you've got to sew it up. I believe it sews together kind of like this, if I remember. Let me see. Remember right, it kind of goes like that. And then it's a long, loose cowl. And I'm going to wear this when I go early vote. Yay, voting. So in honor of the women who worked so hard for us to have the right to vote, I am going to wear this when I go vote in early voting, which it opens in like week or 10 days here. So I'm going to go vote. Anyway, so that is the Empower Lace Cowl. And that is by, let me make sure I get this right because I failed to look before I sat down here to do this. That is by Designs by Romy on Rosemary Hill or Romy Hill, and Designs by Romy, and it is free, I believe, on Ravelry. So it is part of the voting initiative that they have going on right now. So yay me! It was a very fast knit, because if I got it done in a big hurry, y'all can probably get it done in like an hour. Anyway, oh, and I forgot to mention my little progress keeper there. If you can see him, that is my little fall narwhal by Charmed and Dangerous. Whoops, come on, dude, turn around. There we go. Charmed and Dangerous little fall narwhal there. So yay for narwhals. Okay, so that is all my finished objects, and I have some works in progress to share with you, so we'll move on and talk about those. Okay, so I have a few works in progress to show you this week. I have a mixture of fiber ones and stitching ones. So I'll start with my first one. This is another April 9 Designs bag. And it is containing my Twizzler socks. My Twizzler socks, which is a free pattern on Ravelry by Becca Sanders. And they are my entry for Grenade Creations Halloween Sock Along. She's running that completely through Instagram. I am knitting this out of Andromeda sock yarn. This is called Witching Hour. This was a gift from my friend Maria out in Colorado. And then I did a contrast cuff with, I think it's a Cloudborn fingering. I don't remember where I got that, but I just thought it would work. But this is the Twizzler socks. And so you can see there, it's just a slip stitch. It's a very fast knit on it. I'm doing my socks 2 at a time, toe up, and I'm going to do another afterthought heel on these because I kind of like that. Because you can just knit, 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 and knit, and not have to think. And I like this pattern because it's pretty mindless. It's the next best thing to just a straight vanilla sock. And then my little progress keeper, my little bunny there, is also by Charmed and Dangerous. And he glows in the dark, I think. So, but anyway, so these are my Twizzler socks for the Grenade Creations Halloween Sock Along. So it's in a Halloween bag with Halloween colors. And then I thought, well, Twizzlers are candy. I don't particularly like Twizzlers, but some people do. Okay, I used to date a guy that loved them, so that's what he got in his Halloween or his Christmas sock every year. This is another April 9 Designs bags because I love Charlotte's bags, and in this is my Changes shawl by the Knitting Expat, and I am over probably, I would guess, if I'm guessing, I'm about 65 to 70% of the way done. Now I completed one side, and I showed that to y'all, I think the last time I recorded. So I've completed one side, so I have been working on the striped section or the waffle texture section on the second side. So this is a very big shawl with a lot of tails to weave in, obviously, and I haven't done any of them yet because, you know, I'll do that at the end. But anyway, so here's the one, here's the one side all completed. You can see it there. And now I am working on the second side, and Lord have mercy, I hope I didn't pull any needles out. Nope, I didn't. All right, so here is that side. So I've gotten through, the way I'm doing this is you're supposed to have 10 minis, so I have 5, and I'm doing each color twice. So I will do like a double rainbow effect where I'll start with the purple on this repeat and go back to the pink. So yeah, that is it's a very easy knit. It doesn't take long. It's just big. I mean, it's a very straightforward knit. The only part that slowed me down was this section here where you have to do the wrapping. That took a little minute, but I love the effect of it. So I'll be excited to get this done because this is so bright and cheerful, and Lord knows we need that now. This is knit in Kimmery Knit Knacks. This gray color is called Steel, and then I purchased 2 packages of her Neon Minis, and unfortunately, and I don't know if this is common knowledge yet, so I should say it, but I'm going to because I don't know how many people watch this. Kim recently passed away, and I'm very, very sad about that because she was a very sweet lady, and I had gotten to visit with her several times because she came up to the shop, my local yarn shop, and I'm very sad about that. So I don't know if that's common knowledge in the community, but the owner of the yarn shop told me, and I feel like enough time has passed now where the people that need to know have been told. And so anyway, I will miss her very much. So change of shawl, knitting expat. Then I started because sometimes I need to, oh, excuse us, Cammie. Sometimes I need a crochet project. So Vanessa had come to visit with her family last year, and she brought me this wonderful bag by Peapod Creations. And she also brought me a skein of yarn by Huloco called Cinnamon. And I was looking for the perfect project to do with it. And so I chose the 1,000 Kisses scarf by CJ Brady Designs. CJ Brady has tons of patterns. They're very inexpensive. She usually runs sales on them as well. So the 1,000 Kisses seemed like the perfect project for that. So I am about halfway through the first section. And when you wet block this, it's going to grow quite a bit. But I'm about halfway through the first section on this shawl. So there's an increase section, and then you do a decrease section, and then you wet block it to stretch it out. It uses about 90% of your yarn, supposed to be. So although my gauge in crocheting is a lot tighter than my gauge in knitting, but this is actually, I'm using a size larger hook than the pattern recommends. So that's as far as I am on that. I just needed something to kind of cleanse my palette from all the knitting I've been doing, so I picked this up. And this is about 2 evenings worth of, you know, a couple hours of work for me. So I'm a lot faster at crochet than I am knitting too. So, but anyway, so that is a gift, very fond gift from my friend Vanessa from A Historian Knits podcast when they came down last November, when they came down through for Thanksgiving. I was very delighted to have them come by. Now, my stitching works in progress. I have 3. Oh, it fell. I'm still in my kitchen because I hadn't gotten around to finishing my project in my craft room yet. And that's terrible because it's been going on for 6 months now. You would think I'd be done by now. All right, so my first one is my Chinese Zodiac by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I am behind on this, but I did get motivated to pick it back up because Jessica from Army Wife Knitting Life and 2 Sticks and String persuaded me to join their Christmas wreath stitch along that starts in November. So I kind of thought I need to get some stuff finished. So Chinese Zodiac stitch along, you get this is supposed to end in November, so as you can see I'm pretty behind on it, but you get the animals and then you get the fill-in piece. So I've got these 3 animals, then I'll have these 3, and then there's so far we've got these 3 over here and all the fill-in. So that's where I'm at now. So I'll get it done. You know, I'm not too concerned about deadlines. I'm not going to impose any artificial deadlines on myself. It gets done when it gets done. The little needle minder came with you had to order it separately, but it was part of the promotion for the stitch along. So yeah, Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, this is their kit. They had a kit for this. So of course I'm a sucker for a kit, as y'all well know if you've watched me for any time at all. So this is their Chinese Zodiac. I think the last time I showed it to you, I had finished the bunny rabbit. So I filled this part in and then done the dragon, and then I've started on the snake. Or maybe I hadn't done the bunny rabbit yet. I can't remember. But I know I had this part done the last time I showed it to you. So welcome back. Do you mind? I'm sure everybody doesn't want to see a close-up of your chest there. Okay. You want to move? How about you sit right there? She won't stay. But all right. Then I had for quite a while this little kit, and that last bag and this bag are also from April 9 Designs. She makes really pretty stitchery bags too. I had this little kit from Mill Hill for a lot of years, and I decided I would go ahead and start it. It is on perforated paper. Now I'm not very far on this because I've just put a little bit of work in it. But it's on perforated paper, and so it's very cute. That's as far as I am on that. And I forgot to look up who makes the needle minder. Shoot. Can't remember. But anyway, so yeah. So that's how far I am on that little guy. It's got some little accessory buttons on it, and it's got some beading on it. So it'll be really cute when it's done. So you can see there. So I'm just working on the tree and the window frame right now. So I haven't put very much time in on that yet, but you know, progress is progress no matter how small. Okay. And then last but not least, I decided with Tyra to do the Fat Quarter Shop Fright Night Stitch Along. So we just got the second clue. So I am currently working on that. So let me take this out where you can see everything that I've done. Okay. So the first clue was the word Halloween and the spider. There we go. I got way too much fabric there. Okay. Halloween and the spider. And then we're starting on the moon and a bat. So I actually used chronic blending filament on my spider web, and it glows in the dark. And then I'm also using it on my moon there, using gold on my moon. And the moon was supposed to be white, and I decided to go rogue and make it yellow because, you know, why not? I want it the way I want it. So there you go. All right, so yeah, you get a clue of that each week. This week is the moon and a bat. So I've got to stitch the moon and the bat this week, and then that'll be that. So I think that is all my works in progress to show you this week. So we're going to move on and talk just a little bit about future crafting. Okay, so I'm just going to show a couple of things in future crafting. The first one was actually a birthday gift from Christy in Alaska. And they have a farm, the Calypso Farm and Ecology Center that she was telling me about. And they sent me some beautiful yarn from there. And it is called the Solstice Hat. And there's a picture of it. Now, I don't have the right size needles to do this on, so I'm going to have to order them. But isn't that beautiful yarn? And the yarn does all the work, kind of does all the work, I think. So, isn't that beautiful? That's beautiful yarn. And this is, let's see, it is, tell me what it is here. I thought it told me what this yarn was. I think this is some of their yarn, if I'm not mistaken. So, well, I thought it was on here, but I guess I lost it. But anyway, so I think that's really beautiful. So I'm excited to get to try that out. It's like an art yarns, and then there's this white yarn there. So that's what the hat will ultimately look like. That's upside down. It'll look like that. So I'm anxious to get that started. I've just got to get the right size needles to be able to make it, because I don't have the correct size to knit it on. And I usually go down in needle size when I knit, because I tend to have a fairly loose gauge, so I tend to go down in needle size. And then also, and this is a bag that Maria sent me from Colorado, got my witchy stuff on it. I decided I wanted to make the Hoarfrost cowl by Maria from Ninja Chickens. And she came out with this pattern, I believe it was last fall, if I'm not mistaken, or early last winter. And it is a colorwork cowl. And I was just really taken with the beauty of it. So I want to knit it. And what I'm knitting it in is Chicken Coop Dye Works. And these are some Tweety yarns. This one is called Ice and Snow, and then this one is called Poinsettia. And I thought those would make a really beautiful cowl. So I'm anxious to get started on that. I've got my needles. I've got everything that I need. I just want to get something off the needles before I cast on anything else. But then who knows? I might get a wild hair and cast it on anyway. So that's my future crafting, and I've just got a little bit of acquisition to show, which is also kind of future crafting. So I guess I'll just show it here. Why not, right? Since I'm already here. I decided I would buy the pattern for the Boo Knits Halloween knit-along, although I'm not even beginning to try to keep up. It's called Shadow Dancer, and it's 1,400-ish yards. Well, it takes 3 skeins of standard fingering weight size yarn and then 1,400 beads. Because, you know, I love those beads. So I decided to get, this is from Expression Fiber Arts. This is some of her, it's called Chameleon, and it's long color changes. And this is a color called Bewitched. So I thought that that was perfect. And then I ordered my beads from Fire Mountain. And I thought I was ordering hematite colored beads, and I ended up getting these, which are called Blue Iris, and they've got a lot of the same colors as the yarn does in them. So I think my happy accident is actually going to work out better. So, yeah. So I don't know when I'll get around to starting that. Probably soon, because I'm kind of itching for the challenge of a lacy, very complicated shawl, and so probably pretty soon. But anyway, so yeah, so that's kind of acquisitions and future crafting all together there. So we will move on with, this is the end of the crafting. So we're going to move on and talk a little bit about campus life and science. Before I forget, and since I didn't do official acquisitions, Maria from Ninja Chickens is having a sale this month. She has restocked her Etsy shop with a lot of beautiful eco-printed stuff and natural dyed stuff. And I ordered some yarn from her because she's donating to different charities that she thinks are important from her proceeds. So she doesn't do these shop updates very often. So if you want to snag some of her stuff, go over there and check it out. But this is organic merino and hemp, and it's dyed with logwood. So I thought it's a kind of a beautiful bluish gray color. So I really like that color. I think it brings my eyes out, so I had to get it. I love Maria's stuff, so I'm always excited to get some of her stuff. So anyway, I wanted to stick that in there and put a shout out about that sale in case you were interested in supporting a charity. Really? Come here. Come here. Ugh. Willie apparently is on strike because he is not even coming out. He's under the bed sleeping, and he's like, nope, not doing it. So I apologize for all of y'all who come here to see Willie, because he's on strike this week apparently. Anyway, so fall semester's rocking on. It's been an unusual time. We are going to keep the same mode of delivery for the spring. So I'm going to continue to teach online for the spring, I believe. You know, we're doing the best we can. I'm doing our women's group, and this year, instead of reading a book, we are listening to the Brene Brown podcast. She's got a new podcast called Unlocking Us, and I'm actually co-facilitating the group. And last week, our first meeting was about feeling all the feelings, right? And being allowed to feel your feelings. And last week was called day 2. And about how day 2 is when you go to a conference or something, day 2 is what they also call the messy middle. And it's where you feel kind of like you kind of feel stuck and hopeless and frustrated, and you don't know what to do to move forward, and you don't know what to do to keep doing what you need to do. And that's kind of where we're at right now, y'all. I feel like we're in the messy middle. And this has been, we started out in the spring, and we're baking bread, and we're canning, and we're doing all this stuff, and we're cleaning out, and we're, and now, we're 6 months or 7 months or 8 months into this. And in the grand scheme of things, that's not that long compared to what people have endured in the past. But we're not used to that. And so it's like, okay, I miss my students really badly. I know that the students it's for some reason, doing this online is more exhausting in a lot of ways than doing it in person. And I don't really know why, but it just is. It just is. It's just, you're with me, it's constantly making sure, did I post everything that I needed to post? And did I make sure that was accessible to students? And can they download it? And, and making sure that I check my email and all that stuff. And so far, it's gone okay. Some bright spots have been my student Grace. She is got accepted to a position at NASA Langley, which I think I mentioned last time. And so she is, very excited about that. She's doing great on her. She's applying for the National Science Foundation, one of the fellowships from there. So she's been a real bright spot, getting to visit with her. And we've had some pep talks, because I know she gets frustrated at times. And I see so much of my younger self in her that I'm hopeful that I am the person now that I needed back then to her. I'm co-teaching a class for our honors college program called Science for All. And I'm teaching that with one of my former students. And to listen to him, we talked about our journey to where we're at in our academic careers the other day. And to listen to him talk was very touching, because I never realized how big an impact I made on his life. And he's told me before, but, I hope that if nothing else, at the end of the day, when I hang up my robes for the last time at the university, that I have made a difference to those kids' lives. That's the number one thing to me. We did a Girl Scout Virtual Badge Academy a couple of weeks ago. Several of us went online and did some classes via Zoom for the region's Girl Scouts, that was kind of a lot of fun. That's one thing I really miss about this, is not doing the planetarium shows and not being able to do science outreach. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of pretty much the gist of what's going on, we're just kind of having to see where all this goes. We're in a very long day 2 of this pandemic, or a very long, messy middle, I guess. And we're just trying to have to figure out where life goes from here. And I don't necessarily want things to go back necessarily the way that they were. I think that there are some things from this pandemic that have been a positive in terms of my outlook on the world, but there's also been some things that are hard. Winter is hard for me because I think I must have seasonal affective disorder or whatever it is. I have a really hard time getting out of bed when the seasons change and it starts getting dark. And it's starting to get dark, and it's been cool some mornings. It's not cool right now, but it's been cool some mornings, and that's been hard for me to get up. And so, having these classes has helped. Another thing that's really helped, one of the chemistry professors is also a yoga instructor at one of the regional health facilities. And she has offered this online yoga class twice a week, primarily to faculty and students. And she's gearing it toward those of us who have to sit and do this online teaching all day. And that has been a godsend to me. That has been like a tether for me to hang on through this storm that we're in right now. I never realized how valuable it was until she said, okay, this series ends on October the 18th, and then we'll decide what we want to do from there. And I'm like, oh my God, we have to keep doing this. I was like in a panic thinking, oh, what if I can't do this anymore? Oh no. It has been really good. And the thing that I like it is it's real people yoga. It's not for little bitty, very flexible, very young, people. It is for normal people like me who are not flexible at all, who are not very young, and who are not very skinny. So I like the fact that she makes it real. Oh, here we go. Simon's coming to see Shirley. So Shirley, here you go. Here's your Simon cameo. Yeah, so that has been a godsend to me, having that yoga class twice a week, and I have not missed a single one. I'm kind of addicted to it. Like I will not make plans, or I will insist that plans be changed that interfere with it, because that has been sort of my lifeline during all of this. So, Simon. Yeah, I know. Now, you two are going to fight, and it's not going to be pretty because it's going to be captured forever on iPad. Y'all go on. Come here. Yeah. Here we go. Come on. Come on, get down. Hop down. Thank you. Okay, so diverted cat fight there. But anyway, so you don't get Willie this week, but you get a lot of cats. Cammy. You get a lot of cats this week. So, anyway, so that's been good. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. We've moved into the fall. We had the fall equinox the other day, so hopefully y'all have all noticed that the days are getting significantly shorter. And I've been talking to these young women's groups about women in astrophysics, and I did a workshop on Monday that was put on by the American Association of the American Physical Society. And it was about diversity and inclusion in STEM. And I have a student in my class, and that was Baxter saying hello, for those of y'all who didn't catch that. They are gender fluid and have gone through the process of changing their names. And so I made sure that I updated everything to their preferred name. Or their, not preferred name, but their new name. They have legally changed their name. So it's not preferred, it is their name. And use the correct pronouns, or tried my best to use the correct pronouns. But one of the things that was talking about was the big disparity, it focused primarily on racial disparity, but also on gender disparity in the awarding of bachelor's, master's, and PhDs in physics. And I was a little disappointed because I was really hoping for some concrete things that we could do to change that. And I know that it's retaining students and recruiting students, and man, that's hard right now. I mean, I feel terrible for our freshmen right now. This is the worst year to be a freshman at university. I mean, it really is, because there's no way to make connections, or it's very difficult. I won't say there's no way, but it's very difficult to make connections right now. But it's been a year, and Hypatia contacted me talking about some of the issues, and so I'm hoping to work with them, maybe trying to find a way to do some activities in our department. I mean, we've done some stuff, but I would like to see us do more inclusive and not just focus on one area of inclusion, focus on a lot of different areas, because there's a lot of areas that need representation in physics. But anyway, so that's where I'm going to kind of end it, I think, and we will come back and talk about farm life. Okay, so part of the reason I waited to record this late is I wanted to wait till after our Halloween show at the barn. So I've got some great footage from that I hope to share with you. So we had our Rainbow Riders Halloween show and costume contest. Some of y'all may remember, if you've been with me for a minute, you remember it from last year. We had our challenge 1 and 2 and our great race. Now, I didn't get any footage. I've only got one piece of footage from the great race, and that was Melissa riding Bo up the hill. So I might try to pop that in. But I did get some footage of the costumes. We had some great costumes this year, so it was a lot of fun. We've been fighting feet problems at the barn quite a bit. Flame has been off for 2 weeks with a stone bruise, and so I have decided I'm going to investigate. There's some glue-on shoes that I can use on her feet that I think I'm going to get for her for next year for show season, because I don't want to have to sit out. I mean, we got all of our rides in this year to qualify for year-end awards, but I didn't like some of our scores, and I would have liked to have done better on some of them, but it is what it is. We had to miss 3 shows because of her feet. Trixie's doing well. Trixie is coming right along. We have got her walking and trotting and cantering, and now we're working on steering. Melissa has been a big help with that as well. We've been working with her twice a week, getting her going, so that's been a lot of fun. Here at the farm, we got all of our hay bought, so that's great. Had some raccoon problems again. They little sneaky suckers, they find us, and I put my trap out and trap them and move them. So that's all I know to do. I had my trap out for a week. I've caught 2 raccoons and a possum. So I take them up the road to the national forest and let them go. I'm not going to kill a raccoon for being a raccoon. We're ramping up here to deer season. I don't know if I'm going to hunt this year or not. We'll see. I was going to can muscadines, but we had a dry spell that lasted about 3 weeks, and all my muscadines fell off the vines. So I was pretty disappointed. Excuse me? Okay, they're trying to share a bed back there and can't do it equitably. So, hey, you two, now be nice. Sharing is caring. Okay, so no muscadines, unfortunately, but maybe next year. That's okay. I did find some canning jars, so that was good at least. The garden is pretty well done for the year. I haven't planted any fall vegetables. I'm really bad about doing stuff in the fall, because by the time I get to October, I'm done. I don't want any more garden. I need to clean it up and spread more compost on it and put it to bed for the winter. So one of these weekends when I've got some free time that I don't have a barn event probably coming up soon, I will do that. And because I've got plenty of compost and stuff that I can put out there. So yeah, it's just been, that's kind of what's going on the farm. The animals are just kind of rocking along. I've got all the canning is pretty well done. I've got to put the rest of my canning up. I bought label makers. Man, I'm having the hardest time with label makers. First of all, my label maker is missing. I don't know where it is. It's here somewhere, I know. The screen was messed up on it, so I ordered a new one. Yay, ordered a new one. Well, I get it. First thing happens, there's a paper jam in it. Or, it's one of those Dyno label makers. So I look up online. Maybe it's just some little something that I'm not doing right, because it's a different style of label cartridge that I'm used to. So I look it up. No, this is a fault apparently in this model, which is why it was so cheap. So I said, okay, maybe it's just this one. I ordered a replacement. Same thing was wrong with it. So I ended up having to take it back and you have to take it to the UPS store to ship it back. And I'm kind of glad that I showed up, because there was an elderly gentleman in there that was trying to send something back to Amazon, and he didn't know what a QR code was and all this stuff. And it turns out there was a girl that I went to high school with that was working behind the counter. So I helped him, and then he left his glasses. So I grabbed his glasses and ran out the door and caught him in the parking lot with him. So it was all good. I sent him back, and I haven't ordered a replacement yet. I'm just really frustrated because I had ordered cartridges for mine. Now I don't know where it is. I know it's here, but it's just like those charms that I lost last year from Charmed and Dangerous. I know they're here, just don't know where. And I just can't quite find the right cubby hole that they're stuck in. So, yeah. So I need to order a new label maker, but I will wait till the end of the month probably to do that, just because I've got some other things that I'm saving up for right now that I want to pay for instead. So, yeah, so that's kind of the farm update. You know, we're just kind of getting along. You know, it hasn't gotten down to freezing yet here. We usually get our average first frost date is end of October-ish. We've had them earlier, we've had them later. Last year it was it was 30th of October. The year before that it was also 31st. It was Halloween night last year, or 2 years ago. So, you know, it's coming. I know it's coming. We've had some nights where it's been down in the mid to low 40s, so we're getting close. You know, this is a La Nina year, so La Nina usually means colder but drier winters here for us, if I remember right. So we may not get much of a winter, although, you know, and I know there's no scientific evidence, but we're due for a bad one. We are due for a whomper, because we haven't had a serious ice storm here in about 7 years. And, you know, so we're due for one. I know it's coming. We just got to be ready. But the generator's got plenty of gas. I've got plenty of hay. I keep my eye on the weather all the time. I certainly have plenty of food with all the canning that I did. So I'm set, I think, pretty much for the year. But anyway, so that's about all I've got on the farm update. You know, we're just kind of cruising along this time of year, letting things, you know, rock on into winter. The gardening has definitely slowed down, and such. I did get some nice pomegranates. I only got 3, but they were full size, so I was really happy with that. And my friend Tim has been sending me pictures of these. We both use the Seek app, and he's been sending me pictures of all these unusual plants that he's finding over on his deer lease. And it's making me think about ordering some new fruit trees for next year. So anyway, so that's kind of all that we're talking about here on the farm. So we're going to move on and talk about a few final thoughts. Well, it's time for our Rainbow Rider Halloween event. So I'm judging. So I'm actually bringing Bo up from Melissa. Flame is down at the gate and is very unhappy that she couldn't get coming up. But today is our annual costume contest. And then we have an event called Challenge 1 and 2. And a great race. So it's a video of that today for you guys. That's just about perfect. Socially distanced horse riding. Oh yes! I love you, Little Red Riding Hood. You're my favorite. I'm not judging you, so. Yeah, I'm the wrong judge to bribe him with fucking. Oh, she put sleep on her. Are we doing this for my birthday party? Oh, well, this is not quite steam time. It's a nice dinner. Good boy. Okay, so I was trying to figure out what I was going to offer in my final thought today, and one of the things that has been on my mind is my tie to this land. I'm actually trying to write a couple of books. I hesitate to even say that because I'm certainly not a writer, but I'm trying to write down a few thoughts, and one of them is a kind of a journal style of my experiences here, and the other one is a trashy romance because, you know, I love the trashy romance. Anyway, it's not, I've got to up the trash factor, somebody said in it. Anyway, I was thinking about the tie to the land because that's been one of my big centerpieces of my life, is my tie to this land. And that's both in a good way, and it can also be a barrier to some things too, because the land is demanding. But a friend of mine posted this about being a land wife and the concept of being married to the land. And in a lot of ways, I've often said that that is who my significant other is this farm. And it certainly feels that way because it is a deciding factor in everything that I do. And it takes all of my energy and all of my love and all of my time. And that's okay. I don't mind that a bit. It's, you know, it is what I wanted to do. But she posted this poem, and I thought I would share it with you because it kind of really speaks to that aspect. So I'm going to read this piece, and it's called How to Own Land by Morgan Farley. Find a spot and sit there until the grass begins to nose between your thighs. Climb to the top of a pine and drink the wind's green breath. Track the stream through the alder and scrub. Trade speech for that cold, sweet babble. Gather sticks and spin them into fire, and watch the smoke spiral into darkness. Dream that the animals find you. They weave your hair into warm cloth. String your teeth on necklaces. Wrap your skin soft around their feet. Wake to the silence of your own scattered bones. Watch them whiten in the sun. When they have fallen to powder and blown away, the land will be yours. So, yeah, I really loved that piece. I thought it hit home to me about my connection to this place. And a lot of people don't understand that. It's hard to find people that do understand that for sure, but the ones that do, they get it. So anyway, I hope y'all are all doing well. Don't forget, if you are looking for company with your crafting, I do have a Zoom crafting meetup that meets fairly regularly. I try to post about it on Instagram when we have a meetup, or Facebook, and you can find us there. It's a very friendly group of people, and it's a good place to ask questions because there's a lot of people with a lot of experience at different crafts there. So please come and join us if you want some company. Check us out there, and if you want to know how to get in touch with us, we're on there most evenings, but we're for sure on there over the weekends, usually in the evenings, unless something's going on. And I will post occasionally about specific meetup times, but you're welcome to check in anytime to see if somebody's online. So I hope y'all are all doing good, and until I see y'all again, y'all be good to each other and take care of each other, and peace out, y'all. Bye. No, Willie, he's still on strike. He's like, nope, not coming out of bed. So you get cats this week. Next time, Willie will be back, I promise. Bye, y'all.